inverse trigonometric functions are. చూడండి ఒకసారి మనము సో మనం ఇన్వర్స్ ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్ చేసాం ఒకసారి కొన్ని పాయింట్స్ రివైండ్ చేద్దాం సో లాస్ట్ వీక్ in the last lecture we have discussed about inverse f maps a to b is a bijection right if f maps a to b is a bijection then inverse exists it is called f inverse right f inverse maps b to a right for that inverse to exist f must be a bijection f must be a bijection then we will define another function f inverse from b to a that means I have already discussed so domain of inverse function is nothing but range of f right range of inverse function is nothing but domain of f and that inverse function is also bijection so that only we will use in this chapter right sin x is there sin x inverse function of that is denoted by sin inverse x sin inverse x cos x is there cos inverse x like the tan inverse x inverse function like that inverse functions will be there look at number 1 suppose f maps one interval I am taking a minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 to minus 1 comma 1 I am taking domain minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and range minus 1 to 1 I am defining f of x right I am defining f of x sin x right if minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 range will be from minus 1 to 1 range will be suppose if we draw the graph look at the graph sin x graph if you see sin x graph right so minus pi by 2 will be here pi by 2 will be here right at minus pi by 2 its value will be minus 1 right its value will be minus 1 at pi by 2 its value will be 1 its value will be 1 graph will be like this you know look at the graph will be like this only from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 look at the graph will be like this is sin x like this it will be graph like this it will be only from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 if you look at from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 if you look at the graph its range is from this at this point minus 1 at this point 1 range is what minus 1 to 1 right in this interval if x lies y lies between minus 1 and 1 right so this function is a bijection right so look at the range is what codomain if x lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 y lies in the interval minus 1 to 1 f of x lies in the interval minus 1 to 1 this is a bijection so whatever I have defined f of x equal to sin x in this interval this function f of x is a bijection right I am defining inverse function look at then if I define the function f inverse domain of this will be minus 1 comma 1 minus 1 comma 1 range will be minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Range will be minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Inverse function of this, if I define, I will define it as f of f inverse x. This is denoted by sine inverse x or arc sine x. It is also denoted like this. Look at sine inverse x or arc sine x. Arc sine x. That means if this is a bijection, then I will define a function. This f inverse minus 1 to 1 to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. So denoted by f inverse x equal to sine inverse x or arc sine x. Look at, for finding inverse, what we will do? Look at, y equal to sine x. Y equal to sine x. We will find x in terms of y. That means if it is like this, we will write x as sine, bring this side. We will indicate like this, sine inverse y. Right? If y equal to sine x, x means bring this side, sine inverse y. So x in terms of y, this one, this we will take it as f inverse y. This we will take it as f inverse y. Therefore, this function is denoted like this. This function is nothing but sine inverse x, like this. So f inverse x equals sine inverse x. Look at this function. Look at y equal to sine inverse x. Sine inverse x. Whenever sine inverse x is there, domain means xm for this. Domain means here x. So what is the domain of this function? Minus 1 to 1. Domain of this function means sine inverse whatever it is there, you write between minus 1 and 1. Minus 1 and 1. For this function, inverse function, domain is x only. It will lie in the interval minus 1 to 1. That means whenever sine inverse function is given, inside x is there, that inside whatever the function is there, you write the rule minus 1 to 1. That means for these x values only it will be defined. So range means y values. Range means y values. That means for these values of x, y values lies in the interval this. Minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. That means in the domain x minus 1 to 1, y values, that means sine inverse x values always lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means, look at, we can say that minus pi by 2 less than or equals to sine inverse x less than or equals to pi by 2 always. Sin x, suppose if you take sin x, minus 1 less than or equal to sin x less than or equal to 1. Similarly, sin inverse x minus pi by 2 less than or equal to sin inverse x less than or equal to pi by 2. That is the definition of sin inverse x function. Whenever sin inverse function will come, domain rule is whatever inside is there, you write between minus 1 and 1. Minus 1 and 1. So this sine inverse function, if you are substituting x values between minus 1 and 1, you will get the range minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means sine inverse x minimum value is minus pi by 2, maximum value is pi by 2. Maximum value is pi by 2. Like that, domain of sine inverse x is minus 1 to 1. Range is nothing but minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this is sine inverse function. So sine inverse graphs we will see at the end. Sine inverse x graph, how it will be, we will see in the end, right? First remember this domain and range. All the graphs we will see at a time. In the end of this chapter, we will deal about the graphs. This is sine x graph, whatever I have drawn, right? This is about sine inverse x. Look at. Suppose look at. Suppose it is asked like this. Sine inverse 1 by 2. Sine inverse 1 by 2. Right? Sine inverse 1 by 2. Is this defined or not? This is x. Sine inverse x. This lies between minus 1 and 1 only. Sine inverse 1 by 2 means what is it is? Look at. You know that sine pi by 6 is what? Sine pi by 6 is what? 1 by 2. Sine pi by 6 is what? 1 by 2. Bring that side. Sine inverse 1 by 2 is nothing but. Sine inverse 1 by 2 is nothing but pi by 6. That means this value is nothing but pi by 6. This value is nothing but pi by 6. Always this you will get an angulum. Sine inverse 1 by 2. That means you know that sine pi by 6 is what? 1 by 2. Therefore, sine inverse 1 by 2. Bring that side. Sine inverse 1 by 2 means what? Pi by 6. Suppose sine inverse 1 by root 2. Sine inverse 1 by root 2. You know that sine pi by 4. Sine pi by 4 value is what? 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2. Therefore, pi by 4 is nothing but sine inverse 1 by root 2, like that. So this is nothing but pi by 4. This is nothing but pi by 4. Like that, suppose look at here. If sine y equal to x. If sine y equal to x, like this it is there. If sine y equal to x, then look at, we can write y equal to sine inverse x. Y equal to sine inverse x. If sine y equal to x, then we can write y equal to sine inverse x. If x is there, that means domain. X must be in the interval minus 1 to 1. X must be in the interval minus 1 to 1 and y must be in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. This. So when you are writing, look at here. Sine y equal to x. This pi by 6 is what? This pi by 6 is a value between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Then only you can write sine inverse 1 by 2 equal to pi by 6, because sine inverse x values always you will get between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. Suppose take an example. Take an example. Suppose like this it is there. Sine 5 pi by 6 is nothing but sine 5 pi by 6 is what? 1 by 2. Look at 5 into 30. This is 150. Sine 150 is 180 minus 30. Right? That is also 1 by 2. But you cannot write like this. Look at. 5 pi by 6 equal to sine inverse 1 by 2. Right? This is wrong. This angle is there, this angle is there, that must lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. But if you look at here, this 5 into pi by 6 means 5 into 30, 150. This is minus 90 to 90. If it is like this, don't write like this. 5 pi by 6 equals sine inverse 1 by 2. First you convert this angle such that it will lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. I am converting, look at it. It can also be written like this. This can be written pi minus pi by 6 equal to 1 by 2. Pi minus pi by 6 is what? 1 by 2. Sine of 180 minus theta. Sine of 180 minus theta is nothing but sine theta. First I am writing like this. Now look at here. Sine y equal to x. This angle lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now I can write. That implies pi by 6 equals to pi by 6 equal to sine inverse 1 by 2. Sine inverse 1 by 2. Look at them. Sine inverse x value. Here pi by 6 you got. That lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. But here you have written sine inverse x value 5 pi by 6. Right? This 5 pi by 6 will not lie in this interval. That means you ensure that whenever sine inverse value you are writing, that must lie between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. In this angle, whatever it is there, that must be your answer. Look at here. Sine inverse 1 by 2, that is pi by 6, that is lying in this interval. Right? So sine inverse x value, whenever you are writing, you write in this interval. Suppose look at here. Sine pi by 6 equal to 1 by 2. You can convert this angle. Pi minus pi by 6. This is sine pi by 6 equal to 1 by 2. You write like this and then write pi by 6 equal to sine inverse 1 by 2. Right? Because I have told its range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. Right? Other than that range, it can't get any value. Right? So this is sine inverse x, sine inverse x. Look at next. Suppose find domain of sine inverse x minus 2. Suppose like this it is there. Right? Domain of sine inverse x minus 2. Now for this domain, sine inverse rule is what? Sine inverse rule you know. Sine inverse, take this as capital X. Whatever inside is there, you take capital X. Right? You take capital X. So what is the domain when it will be defined? When x lies between minus 1 to 1. When x lies between minus 1 to 1, you use this rule. Right? Capital X is what? X minus 2. Capital X is nothing but x minus 2. Less than or equal to 1. Add 2 completely. If we add 2 to this 1, if we add 2 to this x, 1 plus 2, that means 3. Therefore, domain is nothing but x belongs to 1 comma 3. Just simple. Whenever sine inverse function is there, if you want to calculate domain, inside one that take capital X. This capital X must lie between minus 1 to 1. Use this rule and find x values. That is nothing but domain of sine inverse whatever it is, inside function, whatever it is given, that take capital X and write capital X between -1 to 1. This is the rule you have to use to calculate inverse function domain. Next, that is about inverse function, sine inverse function. Next, suppose F maps 0 to pi to -1 comma 1. Right? If you take a function whose domain is 0 to pi and range is -1 to 1, defined by f of x equal to cos function. F of x equal to cos function. It will be a bijection. It will be a bijection. If you look at the graph of cos x, if you look at the graph of cos x, look at, I am drawing the graph, look at. You can observe how the range will be. Look at 0, the graph will be here. At 0, it will be 1, -1, 1. Cos x graph will be like this. Cos x graph we have already discussed. Right? At pi by 2, it will become 0. Right? At pi, it will become -1. At pi, it will become -1. This is the graph of cos x. If you look at here, graph is this range, look at pi it will become -1, at pi cos pi is what, -1, at 0 cos 0 is what, 1. If you look at the graph is from here to here, so range is what, -1 to 1. Codomain is what given, -1 to 1. So therefore, for every x value, there will be one y value in this interval, and no two x values here will have same y value. You take any x value, you will get for two different x values there will be different y values. Therefore, 1 1 as well as on 2. Therefore, this is what bijection. In this interval, if you take the domain, you will get the range this one. That means it is 1 1 as well as on 2. Right? So this is a bijection. Then we can define inverse function. This is A to B. This is A to B. Then F inverse. F inverse means domain will be -1 to 1. So this is A to B. F inverse is from B to A. B to A. 0 to pi. 0 to pi. We will define a function that is called cos inverse x. This is called f inverse x. F of x equal to, this is f inverse x. This is f inverse x. This is called cos inverse x, or it is also denoted by arc cos x. Cos inverse x or arc cos x. ARC, arc cos x means cos inverse x. Right? If you look at here, domain, that means y equal to cos inverse x. Y equal to cos inverse x. Y equal to cos inverse x. Domain of this function is nothing but x. Right? So x will lie between -1 and 1. X will lie between -1 and 1. Look at here. Domain is what? -1 to 1. Range means y value. This y value is there. If x lies between -1 and 1, y will lie in the interval 0 to pi. That means 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to pi. That means domain of cos inverse x is nothing but same as sin inverse x, -1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. Range of cos inverse x is nothing but 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to pi. That means cos inverse x always lies between 0 to pi. Minimum value is 0, maximum value is pi. Look at it. That means always always cos inverse x, always cos inverse x lies between 0 to pi. 0 to pi. Cos inverse x means range. Minimum value is 0, maximum value is pi. For cos inverse x, minimum value is 0, maximum value is pi. For cos x, what it is, minimum value is -1, maximum value is 1. Similarly, cos inverse x, minimum value is 0, maximum value is what? Pi. Look at it. Suppose it is like this. Cos pi by 3, its value is what? Cos pi by 3, its value is nothing but 1 by 2. Cos pi by 3, its value is what? 1 by 2. That means we can write like this. Pi by 3 is nothing but cos inverse 1 by 2. Cos inverse 1 by 2. Look at cos pi by 3 equal to 1 by 2. That means bring cos that side. Pi by 3 is nothing but cos inverse 1 by 2. Look at cos inverse x. Range is what? 0 to pi. This value is lying between 0 to pi. This value is lying between 0 to pi. That means we can say that, look at, if cos y equal to x, if and only if, now we can write y equal to cos inverse x. We can write y equal to cos inverse x. Here x must lie in the interval -1 to 1, because x, this will be defined only when x lies between -1 and 1, and y value, it must lie between 0 to pi. 0 to pi. 0 to pi. This, right? Look at here. Look at here. Cos y equal to x. Here look at y. This pi by 3 is there, that is lying between 0 and pi. Cos y equal to x. That means this y pi by 3 is nothing but cos inverse x. Simply, after writing cos inverse x, cos inverse value, you observe this value is there. Whether that is lying between 0 and 0 to pi or not, you have to check. Right? This is the one. Suppose another one example. Find domain. Find domain of. Find domain of cos inverse. Cos inverse log x to the base e. Let us say function is given. Domain of cos inverse log x to the base e. Like this one function is given. Right? So you know about cos inverse function. Cos inverse x, that inside x is nothing but domain that must lie between -1 and 1. What we will do is, for finding the domain, we will take capital X equal to log x to the base e. Log x to the base e. So given function will become cos inverse capital X. Cos inverse capital X. It will be defined only when x lies between -1 to 1. Right? This is capital X. This will be defined only when capital X lies between -1 and 1. Use that ruler. So -1 right? So minus 1, capital X means what? Log x to the base e less than or equal to 1. Now eliminate logarithm. I have told how to eliminate logarithm. This e bring this side, e power minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to e power 1. E power 1, that means 1 by e less than or equal to x less than or equal to e. Less than or equal to e. Therefore, domain is nothing but x belongs to, what is the interval? 1 by e comma e. That is the domain. Right? Just simple. Cos inverse is there. Inside 1, you write between minus 1 and 1. That is the rule for finding domain of cos inverse function. That is cos inverse x. That is cos inverse x. So next function is tan inverse x. Similarly, f maps. Suppose if you define a function minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 to r to r. I have given function domain is minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. So range is r. Suppose let us say f of x equal to tan x. Suppose I have defined function like this, minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 to range a to b. Suppose I have defined function like this, it will be a bijection. It will be a bijection. It will be a bijection, right? So this will be a bijection. Suppose I am defining inverse function. Okay. Inverse function. Suppose r to b to a number. B to a means minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. I am defining another function f inverse. So r to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. So this is nothing but f inverse x. This is called tan inverse x. Tan inverse x, or it is also denoted by arc tan x. Arc tan x. Whenever arc is given, you replace it by tan inverse x. Arc tan x means you remove arc and then inverse you write. That is symbol. Arc tan x means tan inverse x. So that means if you look at here, tan inverse x, if you look at domain is what? All real numbers. Domain. It will be defined for any value. Domain x belongs to R. That means x belongs to minus infinity, comma infinity. X belongs to minus infinity, comma infinity. That means tan inverse inside whatever it is there, it can be any real value. For any real value, it will be defined. For any real value, it will be defined. That means x minus infinity to infinity. Suppose range. Suppose y equal to tan inverse x. Range means y. Y belongs to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Range means this one now. These values you will get. If you are substituting x values here, you will get the range that y values always lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means always tan inverse x lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. This is open interval. Minus pi by 2 open, pi by 2 open. So that means tan inverse x always lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Sin inverse x is there. It also lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. But minus pi by 2 less than or equal to sin inverse x, less than or equal to pi by 2. Okay. Whenever tan inverse x is given, domain is all real numbers. If inside whatever the function is there, that is defined, then tan inverse x will always be defined. Its range, its values, whatever you will get tan inverse x values, those values must be between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Look at, suppose we have to calculate, suppose take an example. Take an example. Suppose tan pi by 6, tan pi by 6, right? Tan pi by 6 is 1 by root 3. Let's see. Tan pi by 6 is 1 by root 3. Now look at here. You can write pi by 6 equals to pi by 6 equals to tan inverse 1 by root 3. Tan inverse 1 by root 3. Look at tan inverse 1 by root 3 means value is what? Pi by 6. Look at this pi by 6 value, you have to ensure that it lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Look at this is 30 degree. This is minus 90 degree to 90 degree. This pi by 6 is there. That value lies between this and this. Right? Suppose take another example. Look at tan of 7 pi by 6. Suppose take 7 pi by 6. This is tan of pi plus pi by 6. This is also 1 by root 3. This is also 1 by root 3. This is also 1 by root 3. This is pi plus pi by 6. Tan of pi plus pi by 6 means tan pi by 6, that is 1 by root 3. But you cannot write like this. Tan inverse 1 by root 3. This is wrong. This whatever you have written is wrong. Because 7 pi by 6 is there. 7 pi by 6. This value does not lie in the interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Right? This 7 pi by 6 is there. That will not be a value between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Tan inverse x values always you will get between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. But 7 pi by 6 is not in this interval. This way writing is wrong. Convert this. Look at how I am writing. Look at how I am writing. This only I am converting such that this angle lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. I am writing like this. Tan of pi plus pi by 6. This is 1 by root 3. Right? I have written 7 pi by 6 as tan of pi plus pi by 6. Right? This is 180 plus theta. 180 plus theta means third quadrant. This is 180 plus theta, third quadrant. Tan of 180 plus theta is nothing but tan theta. So this is tan pi by 6 is 1 by root 3. Right? Now look at here. This tan pi by 6 is 1 by root 3. Now you can write pi by 6 is tan inverse 1 by root 3. Okay. That means pi by tan inverse 1 by root 3 is pi by 6. Look at this pi by 6. It is lying between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Simple. Tan inverse value whenever you are writing, That must be a value between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. If you are getting a value other than in this interval, then that is wrong. Modify this angle such that this angle always lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this is tan inverse x. This is tan inverse x. Look it. Suppose if you want to calculate, find domain of look it, suppose it is asked like this, root of x minus 1. Suppose it is asked like this, tan inverse root of x minus 1, right? You know that tan inverse will be defined whenever inside one is a real number. Inside one is a real number. Now look at tan inverse, suppose capital X, right? Take capital X. Take capital X, right? So capital X must be real number. Capital X must be a real number, right? Because inside it is the tan inverse capital X. Capital X must be a real number. If it is a real number, it will be defined. Now capital X I have taken this one. Now this must be real number means this must be defined. This must be defined means root is there. That means capital X will be a real number when inside 1 must be greater than or equal to 0. That means x greater than or equal to 1. That means x belongs to 1 comma infinity. Look at it. If this is not greater than or equal to 0, if this will become negative, what happens? Capital X will be imaginary. Capital X will be imaginary. Tan inverse will not be defined when this is imaginary quantity. Tan inverse will be defined only when this is real number. That's why capital X, you take capital X. Capital X must be real number. That means capital X must be defined. Root when it will be defined. Inside one must be greater than or equal to 0. That means x greater than or equal to 1, x belongs to 1 comma infinity. Therefore, domain is nothing but x belongs to 1 comma infinity. Right? This is the domain. Just inside one you take capital X. Capital X must be defined. So it will be defined only root is defined. That means inside root whatever it is there you write greater than or equal to 0. Right? That is tan inverse x. Okay, next. Cot inverse x. Cot inverse x. These are definitions. Just you have to remember domains and ranges. Right? F map. Suppose I am defining one function. R2, R2, 0, comma pi. R2, 0, comma pi. I am defining f of x equal to cot x. F of x equal to cot x. That means domain of this is 0 comma pi to r. 0 comma pi to r. I am defining one function. Look at f of x equal to cot x, right? So this will be a bijection. This will be a bijection. If I define f of x equal to cot x, domain is 0 to pi and range is R, then it will be a bijection. Suppose I am defining inverse function. Okay. So V to A, that means R to 0 comma pi. That means domain is all real numbers. Range is 0 to pi. This function is called f inverse x. This is nothing but cot inverse x. This is nothing but cot inverse x. That means domain, look at all real numbers. Range is open interval 0 to pi. Open interval 0 to pi. That means if you take the function like this, cot inverse x, this is also called arc cot x. Arc cot x. Cot inverse x or arc cot x. Same. Look at y equal to cot inverse x. This will be defined when x is a real number. Domain equals to x belongs to minus infinity comma infinity. Domain, look at domain. If inside whatever the value will be there, if it is real value, cot inverse x will be defined. Range equal to ym. That means it lies within open interval 0 comma pi. Open interval 0 comma pi. Range, it lies between 0 to pi. That means cot inverse x always lies between 0 to pi. Cot inverse always lies between 0 to pi. 0 to pi. So open interval 0 to pi. That means 0 open, pi open. Right? Domain means it will be defined for any real value of x. Range means cot inverse x values are there. If you are substituting real values, you will get y values. Those y values always lies between 0 and pi. Look at. You write one point in tan inverse, tan inverse. You write one point in tan inverse. Tan inverse, 1 point we have missed. Tan y equal to x. If and only if tan y equal to x. If you got like this, you can write y equal to tan inverse x. Y equal to tan inverse x. Here x is real number. X is any real number. And y must lie in the interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Y must lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 open. Add in tan inverse previous function. This point we have missed. Right? Similarly here, cot y equal to x. Let us say you got cot y equal to x. Then you can write y equal to cot inverse x. Y equal to cot inverse x, where x is any real number, comma, y must lie in the interval 0 to pi only. 0 to pi. 0 to pi. Right? Look at, suppose example, cot pi by 3. If you take cot pi by 3, cot 60, cot 60 is what? 1 by root 3. Cot 60 is what? 1 by root 3. Look at, that means we can write like this. Pi by 3 equals to cot inverse 1 by root 3. Cot inverse y by 1 by root 3. Look at here. Cot inverse x value. This is cot inverse value. What you got? Pi by 3. That pi by 3 is there between 0 and pi. That means whatever the cot inverse value, you must get that angle between 0 and pi. That angle must be between 0 and pi. This is cot inverse function. Look at suppose domain. Find domain of, let us say, function is given like this. Cot inverse log x to the base e. Suppose function is given like this, cot inverse log x to the base e, right? You know that cot inverse will be defined when the inside one is real number. That means we will take whatever it is there, capital X equal to log x to the base e, log x to the base e. Capital X must be real. Capital X must be real. That means capital X you have to get real value. That means this logarithm must be defined. This logarithm must be defined means logarithm will be defined only when x greater than 0. That means only when x greater than 0. Otherwise logarithm will not be defined. Right? If logarithm is defined, then you will get real value. If it is not defined, you won't get real value. That means this capital X will be defined only when this logarithm is defined. Therefore, domain equal to x belongs to 0 comma infinity. X belongs to 0 comma infinity. Just simple amal. Inside one must be defined. If you take capital X is this. You check when capital X will be defined. It will be defined only when logarithm will be defined. Logarithm will be defined when x greater than 0. That means 0 to infinity. That is the domain. Look at next function. Look at next function. If f maps 0 comma pi minus pi by 2. Suppose if the function is defined like this, if f maps 0 to pi minus pi by 2 to minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity 1 comma infinity. I am defining a function. Look at 0 to pi minus pi by 2 means in this pi by 2 will not be there. This is also same as, this interval is same as 0 to pi by 2. Pi by 2 will not be there. Open interval union pi by 2 comma pi. This is also same as the above one. That means that closed 0 to pi except pi by 2. That means domain is closed 0 to pi. In between pi by 2 will be there. That will not be there. Pi by 2. Or otherwise 0 closed to open pi by 2 union open pi by 2 to pi. Pi by 2 will not be there. This interval is same as this one. Suppose I am defining f of x equal to secant x. Look at secant x range is what? Secant x will always be less than or equal to -1 or greater than or equal to 1. It will never lie between -1 to 1. This is the range. This is secant x range. So therefore, if we define like this, it will be a bijection. It will be a bijection, right? So then if we define the function like this, then suppose if I am defining f inverse, right? This is a to b and then b to a means minus infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity, 1 to infinity to this interval 0 comma pi minus pi by 2. Suppose I am defining the function like this, right? F maps A to B, then F inverse maps B to A. If I am defining the function like this is called secant inverse x. This is called secant inverse x or arc secant x. Arc secant x. This is. That means domain of this Domain of this means number one, domain of this is nothing but what you have to write is domain means x belongs to minus infinity to -1 union 1 to infinity. Domain means x will be less than or equal to -1. Look at this, can be written like this also, or it is similar to x less than or equal to -1 or x greater than or equal to 1. That means secant inverse x will be defined only if this inside x values are there. Those must be less than or equal to -1 or greater than or equal to 1, or like this also, modulus x greater than or equal to 1. This is the rule we will use for while calculating the domain. We will use this rule. This is same square on both sides. You will get this interval only. Right? We will write inside secant inverse whatever it is there. You write modulus of that greater than or equal to 1. That is the domain. Look at them. You know how to solve this inequality. Square on both sides. X square greater than or equal to 1. Bring this side x plus 1 into x minus 1 greater than or equal to 0. What is the interval you will get? This only. Right? Simple is secant inverse x whenever it is defined. Domain rule you must write modulus x greater than or equal to 1. Modulus x, that means inside whatever it is there, modulus x greater than or equal to 1. So that is the domain. Range. Range means these values. Look at, always secant inverse x minus pi by 2. So range will be from 0 to pi except pi by 2. That means secant inverse x always lies in the interval. Secant inverse x values always lies in this interval. Secant inverse x values always lies in this interval 0 to pi minus pi by 2. This is the range of. So this is secant inverse x. This is secant inverse x definition. While calculating the domain, you write this inside one modulus x greater than or equal to 1. right? Look at next. Similarly, suppose you got secant y equal to x. Secant y equal to x. It can be written like this. You can write this as y equal to secant inverse x. Y equal to secant inverse x. So here modulus x must be greater than or equal to 1, or x must be minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. X must be like this or like this. It is easy to remember this. Modulus x greater than or equal to 1, right? And y belongs to this interval 0 to pi. 0 to pi minus pi by 2. 0 to pi minus pi by 2. This is the range. Whenever secant y equal to x you can write y equal to secant inverse x. Look at domain. X means domain. X must lie in this interval. Y means range. Y must lie in the interval 0 to pi minus pi by 2. This is the condition for secant x, secant inverse x. These are all definitions of you have to remember domain and range. Whenever secant inverse function will come, when it will be defined, what is the rule? Modulus x greater than or equal to 1. Right? This inside 1, whatever it is there, that must be less than or equal to minus 1 or greater than or equal to 1. That is the rule. Suppose, look, take one problem. Find domain of secant inverse modulus x minus 2. Secant inverse x minus 2. Suppose like this. Secant inverse x minus 2. Now you take like this. Secant inverse capital X. Capital X is what? X minus 2. Capital X is what? X minus 2. It will be defined when modulus x greater than or equal to 1. Modulus x greater than or equal to 1. This is the rule. That means modulus, when it will be defined, modulus x minus 2 greater than or equal to 1. Right? Now look at squaring on both sides. X minus 2 whole square greater than or equal to 1 square. Bring this side and write a minus b into a plus b. Right? So this is the one. That means x minus 1 into x minus 3 greater than or equal to 0. Look at here. This is the form x minus alpha into x minus beta greater than or equal to 0. What is the x interval for this quadratic inequality? Minus infinity to alpha means smaller one. Union beta to infinity. This is the domain of the given function. This is the domain of the given function. Just whatever the inside is there, you write modulus x greater than or equal to 1. You know how to calculate for this one. You will square on both sides and then find domain. Right? That is about secant inverse function or arc secant x sum. Look at next, last one, cosecant inverse function. Suppose I am defining a function like this. Look at, I am defining a function like this. Suppose I am defining a function like minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 minus 0. That means in this interval 0 will not be there. This is same as minus pi by 2 comma 0 union 0 comma pi by 2, right? That means in minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, 0 will not be there. Look at closed minus pi by 2 comma open 0 union 0 to pi by 2. That means between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, 0 will not be there. This is the meaning. All values except 0 will be there in this. So 2 I am defining like this. I am defining here minus infinity comma minus 1 union 1 comma infinity. Suppose I am defining a function like this. Cosecant x I am defining. Cosecant x. Cosecant x equal to cosecant x. Cosecant x. Cosecant x. It is a bijection. Because range, look at cosecant x range is what? Range minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. Because cosecant x will be either less than or equal to minus 1 or greater than or equal to 1. That means codomain equal to range. Therefore, it is a bijection. Right? Suppose if we define like this, then this function is a bijection. Suppose I am defining inverse function, corresponding inverse function. Then f inverse will be a to b means b to a. Union b to a, you write up b to a. B to a means what is the a interval there? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. Minus 0. Then if you define from B to A, this is called inverse of cosecant. Cosecant inverse x or arc cosecant x. Arc cosecant x. Right? This and this are same. Arc means inverse function. That meaning is. Right? If you look at here. So domain, look at them. Same as secant inverse x. That means if you take the function y equal to cosecant inverse x, domain, what is the rule you have to write? Same as secant inverse x minus 1 union 1 to infinity. This means that it will be defined only when x less than or equal to minus 1 or x greater than or equal to 1 or x greater, look at here, less than or equal to minus 1 or x greater than or equal to 1, then only it will be defined. Or simply you write the rule modulus x greater than or equal to 1. This is the rule we will use. Right? Inside whatever it is there, modulus of that greater than or equal to 1 is the rule for calculating cosecant inverse function. Right? Just similar to secant inverse x only. This now range. Range means this y value. Y value where it is lying? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. That is the range. Minus 0. Minus 0. This is the range. That means y is nothing but secant inverse x. Secant inverse x will lie in this interval always. Look at next. Look at next. So cosecant, this is cosecant, this is cosecant, right? Suppose you got like this, cosecant y equal to x. Suppose you got cosecant y equal to x equation. That means you can write y equals to cosecant inverse x. If cosecant y equal to x, then y equal to cosecant inverse x, provided this cosecant inverse x must be defined. X means when it will be defined, modulus x greater than or equal to 1, comma, y value where it lies, range, y value must be in the range minus pi by 2, comma, pi by 2, minus 0. This is the range. This is the range, right? So now we have defined 6 inverse functions. Look at briefly, we will revise. Right? Sine inverse x sum, y equal to sine inverse x. Right? X minus 1. What is the rule for domain? Minus 1. X belongs to minus 1 to 1 closed interval. Right? Range is closed minus pi by 2, comma pi by 2. Sine inverse x, right? X minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. Sine inverse x always lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Cos inverse x, domain is what? X belongs to minus 1 to 1 closed interval. Range, closed 0 comma closed pi. Cos inverse x always lies in the interval closed 0 closed pi. Right? Tan inverse x sum, tan inverse x. So x belongs to R. It will be defined whenever x is the real value. Domain is all real numbers. Right? Range, open minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That is the range. Right? Cot inverse x sum, cot inverse x. Domain is what? X belongs to R. X belongs to minus infinity comma infinity. Range, open 0 comma pi. Right? So next, secant inverse x. What is the domain rule? Modulus x greater than or equal to 1. So x belongs to minus infinity comma minus 1 closed union closed 1 to infinity. Then only it will be defined. What is the range of secant inverse x? Closed 0 comma pi minus pi by 2. That is the range. Right? Cosecant inverse x. What is the domain? Rule. Modulus x greater than or equal to 1. Right? Range, closed minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2 minus 0. So these are the 6 inverse trigonometric functions, right? Domains and ranges. So next property we will see. Okay. I have told in the inverse 2 properties. F inverse, F inverse, f of x equal to x. Okay. F inverse f of x equal to, I told the property. F inverse f of x is what? X. For all x belongs to range of f inverse. Range of f inverse. Right? I have told for x belongs to B. That means range of f inverse. Look at here. So if you use this property, suppose f inverse f of x. Look at this property. Sine inverse sine x. Sine inverse sine x. Sine inverse sine x. This is nothing but x. Sine inverse. Look at f inverse f of x. Right? Sine inverse sine x is f of x. For x belongs to, what is the range of inverse function? Sine inverse range minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. This is one property. Look at sine inverse sine x equal to x. Right? for x belongs to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. You have to remember this interval. This is called principal value. Principal values. Principal value. This interval is called principal values. That means this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is there. This is called principal values. This interval is called principal value interval of sine inverse function. Sine inverse sine x is there. Don't write x always. If x lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, only you write. Right? You always remember that pi is 3.142. 3.142. Pi is real value only. That means pi by 2 you can calculate. Pi by 2 is nothing but look here, look at here. So this is nothing but so 1.57. Pi by 2 you remember like this. This is 3.142. 3.142 means pi by 2 is what? Real value only this one. That means 3.142 divided by 2. Okay, now 2 ones, 2 11, 2 5s. Alright. So then 1.57. You remember this value. Right? That means if x lies in the interval minus 1.57 comma 1.57. This interval means real value minus 1.57 to 1.57 approximately. Then sine inverse x will be x. Sine inverse x will be x. You remember this interval. Always don't write sine inverse x equal to x. Only when x lies in this interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Suppose look at sine inverse now 1 by 2. Sine inverse 1 by 2. Now you can easily. Sine inverse is there. Inside you write sine of angle. Sine of angle. So 1 by 2 you know. Sine inverse sine pi by 6. Sine inverse sine pi by 6. This is nothing but sine inverse sine x. Look at this pi by 6 is x. Sine inverse sine pi by 6. Pi by 6 is there or not here? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So therefore sine inverse sine x is what? X. Like that. Whenever inside sine inverse one value is there, you write sine inverse of sine of that angle. Right? So sine inverse sine x. You check whether x is lying in this interval or not. Pi by 6 means 30 degree. Definitely it will lie in this interval. Right? Therefore it is what? Sine inverse sine will get cancelled. Now you will get pi by 6. Right? Suppose, look at this one. Sine inverse, suppose minus 1 minus, suppose like this is there, minus 1 by root 2. Suppose sine inverse minus 1 by root 2 is there. You can write this as sine inverse of sine of minus pi by 4. Sine of minus pi by 4 is what? Minus sine pi by 4. So this is sine inverse sine x. If you look at x here, x is minus pi by 4. Is it lying in this interval or not? Yes. So therefore sine inverse sine x is what? Minus pi by 4. Sine inverse sine x is what? Minus pi by 4. Like this. Just you have to check whether this x lies in the interval principal value or not. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 is called principal value. In that interval, if x lies, write sine inverse sine x equal to x. Suppose if x is not lying in this interval, how to do? Look at. If x is not lying in this interval, sine inverse sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3. Look at sine inverse sine 2 pi by 3. Is it lying in this interval or not? 2 pi by 3 means 120 degree. but this is minus 90 to 90 only. Don't write blindly. If you write blindly, it will be wrong. It will be wrong. Right? Because 2 pi by 3 is there, it is not lying in this interval. Right? First, what you do is you calculate the value. Sine inverse, you write like this. Change the angle. This can be written pi minus pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 is nothing but pi minus pi by 3. Sine of 180 minus theta. 180 minus theta is what? Sine inverse sine pi by 3. So this is nothing but pi by 3. This is nothing but pi by 3. Now look at x. Look at x. Sine inverse sine x. X is what? Pi by 3. That is lying between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Like that, always you have to convert that sine inverse sine x. X always you must convert the angle such that it will lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Like that. Sine inverse sine x equal to x. Like that, other trigonometric functions also. Cos inverse cos x equal to x. X must lie in the interval 0 to pi. X must lie in the interval 0 to pi. That is the range of cos inverse function. Right? X must lie in the interval 0 to pi. 0 to 3.142. Right? So in this interval, if x lies, then cos inverse x equal to x. Suppose like this. Cos inverse. Suppose it is like this. Cos inverse root 3 plus 1 divided by 2 root 2 is there. Right? So this is nothing but cos inverse. What is this angle? Cos 15 degree. 15 degree means pi by 12. Cos 15 degree is what? Root 3 plus 1 divided by 2 root 2. 15 degree means cos pi by 12. Now look at here. Cos inverse cos. This is pi by 12. That is lying in this interval. So this is pi by 12. This is x. Yes, simply cos inverse cos x. X is pi by 12. That is lying in 0 to pi. That means x. Suppose it is like this. Look at cos inverse minus 1 by 2. Cos inverse minus 1 by 2. So look at this angle, I can write in second quadrant. Second quadrant means I can write like this. Look at pi minus pi by 3. Right? Look at, I have written 1 by 2 as cos of pi minus pi by 3. Cos of 180 minus theta is what? Minus cos pi by 3, that is minus 1 by 2. That means this minus 1 by 2, I can write this as cos inverse cos 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3. Now look at this x. That x is there. That x is 2 pi by 3. That is lying between 0 and pi. So cos inverse cos x is what? X. So this angle is nothing but 2 pi by 3. Like that, like that. So cos inverse cos x is x when x lies in the interval 0 to pi. Next, look at. Similarly, tan inverse tan x. Write this formula. For all x belongs to minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. When x lies in the interval minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Right? Whenever you are writing tan inverse tan x, you have to ensure that x lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Similarly, cot inverse cot x equal to x. For all x belongs to open 0 comma pi. Open 0 comma pi amma this. Open 0 comma pi. Similarly, secant inverse secant x equal to x. for all x belongs to range of this range of secant inverse is what I told, 0 to pi minus pi by 2. 0 to pi minus pi by 2. Secant inverse secant x is x. When x lies in the interval 0 to pi minus pi by 2, this is the range of secant inverse x. Right? So next, cosecant inverse of cosecant x equal to x. For all x belongs to, what is the interval? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. Minus 0. In this interval, if x lies, then cosecant inverse cosecant x equal to x sum. This is right. Look at next one. For minus x, whenever minus x is there, minus sine inverse x sum. Minus sine inverse x. Sine inverse minus x is nothing but minus sine inverse x. Suppose, look at, I will tell an example. Suppose sine inverse minus 1 by 2 is there, right? Sine inverse minus 1 by 2 is there. This you can write it as sine of minus pi by 6. Sine inverse minus 1 by 2. You can write it as sine inverse sine of minus pi by 6. Therefore, this value is what? Minus pi by 6. Minus pi by 6. Now, if you take minus, suppose if you calculate this value, minus sine inverse 1 by 2. Right? So, that is sine inverse sine of pi by 6. Look at this. Sine inverse sine x. This is nothing but minus pi by 6. These values will be equal. These values will be equal. That's why whenever minus is there, you write outside. You write outside minus sine inverse x. Make always inside one positive, such that always you can write sine of positive angle. Right? Whenever the minus is there, first step is to write minus outside. Right? Look at cos inverse minus x. This is pi minus cos inverse x. Cos inverse minus x. This formula is pi minus cos inverse x. For cos, you will get pi minus cos inverse x. So, suppose how to use this? Look at cos inverse minus 1 by 2. First, eliminate minus. So, this is minus x. Pi minus cos inverse 1 by 2. Right? This you can write pi minus cos inverse 1 by 2. Now, cos inverse 1 by 2, it is easy to write. Cos inverse, what is 1 by 2 angle? Cos pi by 3. Right? Because cos inverse positive is there, you can write in first quadrant. Cos pi by 3. What is cos inverse cos x? Cos inverse cos will get cancelled. Pi minus pi by 3. Pi minus pi by 3 means if we take the LCM, you will get 2 pi by 3. Like that, whenever minus is there, immediately you write the formula. Pi minus cos inverse x. Then here you will get positive angle, positive value. That means just you write cos of which angle is 1 by 2, it is easy. Right? That means pi minus pi by 3, 2 pi by 3. Don't go away, let me complete this concept. Suppose tan inverse minus x is there. This is minus, you can write outside, minus tan inverse x. Next, cosecant inverse minus x is there. You can write minus outside. Cosecant inverse x. Cot inverse. Cot inverse minus x. This is pi minus cot inverse x. For this you will get pi m. For cos you will get pi. For cos you will get pi minus cos inverse x. For cot inverse minus x you will get pi minus. And then for secant inverse x also you will get a. You have to remember this important point. For cos inverse, for cot inverse and secant inverse, for these three you will get pi minus. For the remaining functions just you will get minus outside. So just for these three functions you will get pi minus. So whenever minus inside is there, it is comfortable to write, to eliminate minus by using this formula. Suppose look at one example, Amma, of how to use these rules. Look at one example. Cos inverse minus 1 by 2 1 by 2 plus 3 cos inverse minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 minus 4 tan inverse minus 1. Suppose you have to calculate this value. You have to calculate this value. Look at this is, look at this value first we will calculate. Cos inverse minus 1 by 2. Suppose we will calculate this value. So right, minus means cos inverse minus x. Pi minus cos inverse x. Look at cos inverse minus x is what? Pi minus cos inverse x. Pi minus cos inverse x. Therefore, pi minus this cos inverse 1 by 2 can be written as cos pi by 3. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is what? 1 by 2 is cos pi by 3. Cos inverse cos x is what? Pi minus pi by 3. That means you will get this as, if you take the LCM, you will get 2 pi by 3. You will get 2 pi by 3. So therefore cos inverse minus 1 by 2 is what? 2 pi by 3. So sin inverse 1 by 2 you take. Sin inverse 1 by 2. You write like this. Sin inverse sin pi by 6. Directly sin 30. That means sin inverse sin x is what? X. Pi by 6. This is the value. Pi by 6. Pi by 6. Right? Over. This is over. Next, cos inverse. Cos inverse minus 1 by root 2. Cos inverse minus x formula is what? Pi minus cos inverse x. Pi minus cos inverse x means 1 by root 2. Pi minus cos inverse 1 by root 2 is what? Cos pi by 4. Cos inverse cos pi by 4. Cos inverse cos x is what? Formula? Cos x. That means you will get pi minus pi by 4. Pi minus pi by 4, if you take the LCM, what you will get? 3 pi by 4. So this value is what? 3 pi by 4. Right? So next is what? Tan inverse minus 1. So take tan inverse minus 1. Okay. What is the formula for tan inverse minus x? Minus tan inverse x. Minus